Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm wearing a 25-cent t-shirt.
Welcome to episode 373, Fully Loaded, 1999.
End of an era.
Is this like the best tagline they've had in a while?
Yeah, it's a really great tagline. And I said it correctly. I said end of an era. They spelled it incorrectly, or grammatically incorrectly. Yeah, the end of a era, but I couldn't even say it wrong. But it drove me nuts when I read it. I was like, this is a great tagline, except for your grammar is dog shit. But yeah, really great tagline. And the poster is Triple H and Chyna back to back, which we'll talk about it later.
So this is the second annual Fully Loaded, produced by WWF. It would take place on July 25th, 1999, from the Marine Midland Arena in Buffalo, New York.
Yeehaw.
With an attendance of 16,605 people and a buy rate of 334,000.
Eat that, ECW. I'm just kidding. It's a miracle ECW got 100,000 people.
Yeah.
That's really incredible and good for them. Especially on a show that has less than a quarter the amount of people in the arena.
Yeah.
I mean, in their war armory or whatever. It was not an arena.
No, I think it was an arena last week.
They called it that. It had seats.
Yeah. But we are in Buffalo, New York, and I just happened to come across that Buffalo, New York has a General Mills factory that produces a lot of their cereals. Such as
Buffalo's a factory-ass town,
yeah.
right?
But I think they produce most of the Cheerios and Lucky Charms for the world. But I didn't have either one of those. But I did happen to have some Golden Grams, which is a General Mills product as well. So I brought us some Golden Grams to a little munch on.
I don't know that I've ever purchased, like as a kid, I don't think I ever bought Golden Grams. It tastes exactly like what you would assume, which is it tastes like a
graham cracker
with a
little bit of sugar on it.
Yeah, it's a little harder than a normal graham cracker maybe, but a little more dense. It's a graham cracker.
But this is the reason why we need you guys to send us recipes sometimes, because this is what you get. I mean, if you even get the segment at all.
If you're listening, Shane, I know you're like, Golden Grams, what are these guys doing? Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, the seat's open.
Sitting there, right there for you. But something that would happen right around the same time as Fully Loaded, actually the very same weekend, just down the road, people would head to the small town of Woodstock, New York, to participate in the 30th anniversary musical festival.
Oh, so yeah, this is Woodstock. So there's only been 3 Woodstocks, right? Yeah. Well, was the original one what?
69,
93,
94.
It was a 94?
Yeah, that's the Mud Bowl.
Yeah, that's the only thing anybody remembers from that is Green Day.
Yeah.
And then 99, which I remember watching the Fires live on MTV News. It was thrilling.
Yeah, this festival is marred by sexual harassment, rapes.
Also poorly put together. There's not that there's any excuse for what people did, but it was not set up for the amount of people that they had.
Yeah.
And people had a short fuse. Plus, it's 1999. This is the era of Girls Gone Wild, and we've got Korn and Limp Bizkit playing.
Yeah, some of the headliners for this: Red Hot Chili Peppers, Metallica, Fatboy Slim, Offspring, DMX, Limp Bizkit, Korn, Alanis Morissette, Bush, Kid Rock, and Creed.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of dog shit, and I like some Korn. I respect it more than I like it. I like the first 5 Metallica records. I would never go see DMX because most rap concerts live stink, but hearing a DMX song very loud at times can get you hyped up. This is not the kind of place where you'd want to see Alanis Morissette. It seems like maybe they shouldn't have done Woodstock more than one time.
I mean, I get the appeal of it because, I mean, this is literally it's what Coachella and... Yeah,
this is pre, like,
all those...
The festival eras that we live in now. Like, I don't know if there was a Bonnaroo in 99, but if there wasn't, it wasn't too long after that. And Bonnaroo, I feel like, is the one that is more, like... At least at one point, it was the one that was, like, jam bands and... drugs and hanging out, and then I think eventually it got like headlined by Coldplay and stuff.
Bonnaroo started in 2002.
Okay, so right around the corner.
Yeah,
but I think Bonnaroo, like all the big ones, eventually end up being like way too expensive, and then it's like the lineups don't even make sense. It's like, why would anybody go to this? Because there's no way that anybody likes all of these things, and they just become like influencer like festivals for people who don't actually like music.
I mean, I want to say it was Coachella this year that I'll usually look at the lineups just to,
out of curiosity.
And I know it's because I'm just out of touch with current day music.
I am too.
I will completely admit this, but I think at this year's Coachella there was maybe a handful of people that I even recognized that were going to be there. I mean, Sabrina Carpenter was the only headliner.
I bet she's like one of the biggest pop stars in the world.
That I even listen to occasionally.
Yeah, I didn't look at the lineup, but I'm sure that I would probably be like, ugh. Festivals need to be themed for the most part for me to be even think about going to. Like, it doesn't have to be just metal or just like one kind of music, but there needs to be like some connective tissue to all of it. And those things like Coachella, where I'm like, none of this makes any sense. Like, there's Sabrina Carpenter and then like Drain or something playing at like 2 p.m. that day. It's like, good for Drain for getting their money, but like this just all doesn't make any sense to me.
I know, that's how I kind of felt. There's a festival that's been popping up in my feed called Stagecoach, and I didn't
think that it would be Western themed.
I mean, it is more country artists, but like I know Teddy Swims is going to be there, who's
I assume a rapper,
is more of an R&B guy.
Okay,
which he's good. Don't get me like.
You're not mad about it.
Not bad about it, but it's just like,
weird.
Why are you at a Western? But yeah, it was just like a weird. But like, Nelly's going to be there one day.
Nelly will go anywhere for a few bucks.
Or I guess this is last year's. But Creed was there. Backstreet Boys was there last year.
There is a theme here, and it is the early 2000s. There's a theme there.
This 2000s. This 2026. Okay.
All those things were popular around the same time. And they were all
Journey's there this year.
Okay.
Third Eye Blind. Yeah. Like, I actually looked at the schedule because I think Amazon's like streaming.
Oh yeah.
Streaming this festival. And so I think that's why I looked at it, because I was just like, what bands are they showing on Amazon? Because I might tune in to watch, because like but it's not on the main stage. But like Hootie and the Blowfish, Third Eye Blind, and the Wallflowers are all playing the secondary stage on the Sunday.
Well, that's one of those things where it's like, you could just buy the one ticket pass for that stage and be like, I had a nice day. I had a whole day of late '90s alt. Like like radio rock.
But it's just like these festivals are kind of like, because you've been to a punk festival, where no one's gonna have heard of any of the bands that he's seen probably. But.
I mean, maybe, but I went to the fest a few years ago, and that's in Florida, but it's been going on forever. But it started as a small thing in a college town by like a label from there, and it's just now it just happens every year. But it has like one outdoor stage in a park, and then it's a college town, so there's just bars all over the city, and you can get in if you really want to see a band, you might need to get there earlier, but like there's just shows happening everywhere, and then the bigger bands are on those stages, and then sometimes the bigger bands will play a second set in a smaller venue because that's more fun. But any other festival I've gone to was either like a one-day thing, like just a day festival, or buying tickets to just specific shows at a festival instead of buying the bracelet, because I was like, oh, I'm just going to go catch this one show on Saturday or whatever and one show on Sunday or Friday or Saturday. But I've never done like the camp out thing.
Yeah, I've never done the camp out thing. I want to think the only festival I've ever done was Gentlemen of the Road, which was Mumford & Sons traveling. And it was, if I remember correctly, it was basically just a day.
Yeah,
they may have had some people play on the Friday night before, but I only went on the Saturday, and I was there all day long, and I had a good time. But it's being out in the sun all day long, listening to music.
That punk one I went to, I could never do that again the way that I did it, because I probably saw like 60 bands or more over that weekend. I watched everything. They had an app, so I like. And also that's the main reason I went, is because the lineup was filled with things that I like, and so
I mean that's half the problem. Like why I won't go to festivals probably ever.
Yeah,
because there's not enough music that are at these festivals to
actually
keep me interested.
Yeah, I agree. That's why that other one I went to, I bought the 2 tickets for the shows that I wanted, and then just did other stuff around. I think it was Austin, so it's like, went and screwed around, then went to the show, and then the next day screwed around, went to the show, and wasn't just like, it was also like a psychedelic festival.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I went and saw the stoner metal band, and then the religious stoner metal band.
But hey, email us in. Tell us about your festival experiences.
Did you go to Woodstock 99? Was it as bad as they said it was? Was it as bad as it looked? Everything was on fire. It was pretty cool from being a kid watching it on TV. It was exhilarating. Still not cool. Not cool, but it was exhilarating is the right way to put it.
Well, let's talk some fully loaded 99. WWF Attitude Package plays, followed by a video package full of highlights of Austin versus McMahon, clips of soldiers returning from war, and famous goodbye speeches, including Lou Gehrig's. The logo is then shown before Pyro goes off, and Jim Ross welcomes us to the show, joined by Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. JR then sends it to footage from Sunday Night Heat, where we see The Undertaker attack Austin, busting him open as the McMahons look on. We go live in the back where Stone Cold's being looked at by a paramedic, trying to get the bleeding to stop, followed by Michael Cole asking Vince and Shane if they were behind the attack, which they deny, before Mr. McMahon guarantees that Austin will lose tonight and never, ever, ever again be champion.
We want to enlighten them on the stakes, or we want to save that for later?
I mean, we can. Yeah.
All right.
Basically, if Austin wins, Vince McMahon can no longer be on TV.
Yep.
And if Austin loses, he can no longer challenge for the championship.
Ever again.
And
the reason that Taker busted him open is because it's going to be a first blood match.
Correct.
So if Austin's already been busted open, it'll be easier to bust him open later in the evening with a fresh wound.
Unless the paramedics were really good at his stitching work.
So hence, this is why the show is called End of a Era, because either Austin can never win the belt again, or McMahon will be off of television, which I don't believe either.
Right. But we go to our first match, Edge versus Jeff Jarrett with Debra for the WWF Intercontinental Championship. The champ came out first. Foreshadowing?
Just to foreshadowing. I think they foreshadowed entirely too much on this show, but we can talk about that later.
And we see highlights from a house show in Toronto from the night before, where Edge was a surprise opponent because Ken Shamrock was unable to make the event, and he won the title from Double J. We also get footage from last Monday's Raw, where the lights went out, only to return to have Double J bathed in blood, which he blamed on Edge, even though Gangrel and Edge are on the outs.
Yeah, Edge is his own man.
That's a slight storyline that really doesn't come into play in this match, but just so
the idea is, it's like Ed, he looks good in the ring on his own, so
And Jarrett takes the mic to say that no one is seeing the puppies tonight because they belong to him, just like that title.
And I must say, he said no one's going to see the puppies tonight. It's like, we see everything but the areola, brother. Yeah. We see the puppies. This is maybe
she's wearing even less clothes than usual.
Yeah, this is the skimpiest outfit we've seen on Debra, I believe.
Yeah.
If not, it's number 2.
So we get back and forth action to start when Edge would hit a spinning heel kick and a half Nelson roll up for a 2 count before a backslide for an airfall. When Double J would reverse a whip to send his opponent to a corner where the former Brood member fakes a crossbody, causing Jarrett to duck, only for Edge to deliver a sunset flip for a 2 count. And Jarrett rolls out, grabbing the title and teases walking away, but returns to the apron to poke the eyes, only for Edge to respond with a turnbuckle smash. And Double J drags his opponent to the outside, tossing him into the ring steps, before returning to the ring, where Edge slides under Jarrett and takes him down with a Northern Light suplex for a near fall. And the former Brood member is sent to a corner, where he leaps up and over a charging Double J, but he lands weird on his leg, causing Jarrett to take advantage by working it over with kicks, pounces, and elbow drops, when he goes to lock in the figure 4, only for Edge to kick him off to the corner, bouncing back into a roll-up, with a kick-out sending the former Brood member shoulder first into the ring post.
Oof.
Jarrett now works the arm with an arm bar takedown, stomps, and a running straddle, followed by chokes and a sleeper, which Edge uses his momentum to send Double J into a turnbuckle to break the hold.
He didn't reverse the sleeper.
Jarrett reverses a whip, but telegraphs his move, leading to the former Brood member kicking him away and looking to hit a shoulder block, only for Double J to catch him for a flapjack that gets a 2 count. And Jarrett reapplies the sleeper, but Edge counters into one of his own.
Oh, there we go.
Until Double J goes for a back suplex to escape, only for the former Brood member to backflip out and roll up his opponent for a near fall. Edge with another sunset flip for a 2 count, before a rake of the eyes puts Jarrett back in control, tossing his opponent into a corner, but he bounces back for the 2 men to knock noggins, leading to the former Brood member to also bounce off the ropes head first into a low blow.
Ooh.
And both men are down momentarily when Edge would finally drape an arm on top for a 2 count, followed by the 2 exchanging strikes, only for the former Brood member to hit a dropkick and a swinging neckbreaker. Edge then comes off the second rope, but Jarrett has moved, thinking he's pretty smart, but gets rolled up instead for a near fall, before a reversed whip sends the former Brood member to a corner, with Double J charging into a big boot and a tornado DDT from his opponent. And Edge sets up for the spear, only for Jarrett to use his momentum to toss his opponent to the outside, when the lights would go out, with Gangrel coming down to attack his former partner. When the lights returned, the Vampire Warriors laid out instead on the floor, with a puddle of blood also having missed its mark nearby.
Edge, shifty. He's like, I know where the blood is made.
Yeah.
I know where the blood comes from.
Double J then attacks from behind, rolling Edge in and heading up top, where he flies off with a crossbody, which the former Brood member uses the momentum to roll on top for a 2 count. Edge then telegraphs his moves, so Jarrett hits a sunset flip, with his opponent dropping his knees down on Double J's shoulders for a near fall. Jarrett goes for a drop kick, but the former Brood member catches and drops him with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count, before nailing the spear as well. Debra then climbs to the apron to distract, only for Edge to turn in time, but the attack from Double J knocks the puppies down to the floor. And the former Brood member turns to check on her when Gangrel would jump on the apron to hotshot Edge across the ropes, where he bounces off to the clutches of Jarrett, who hits the forward leg sweep for the pin and the win. And no! I got a fun fact here. This was Double J's 5th Intercontinental title reign, which would pass Razor Ramon for most ever at this point.
It's pretty wild. It's funny, though, because Jarrett will never have the big belt.
Not in WWE, no.
And, yeah. I mean, yeah, this is Edge's first cup of coffee with a belt, and it wasn't even the European or the whatever. It was the IC belt.
Yep.
Which is neat. Shows they have some,
Trust
faith
in him.
and interest and trust in him.
Post-match, Jarrett takes the mic to call himself the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. And I guess kind of at that point.
I mean, if you win it 5 times and don't move on, does that make you great? Razor at least made it to the top of the card.
But he never won a big boy title either.
No, if you would have stuck around, I'm sure it would have happened.
Maybe.
But we can Monday morning quarterback all day.
We cut backstage to Austin being bandaged up when he storms out, heading to the ring to nail a stunner to Double J.
Just for the hell of it.
Followed by taking the mic to promise that Undertaker is going to go into their match with stitches in his head as well, while blood is oozing from Austin's head. The stitches didn't quite get completed before he stormed out.
I'm sure they'll glue it up and just cover it in duct tape because this last match we can't have any flubs considering the stakes that they are trying to get across.
We go to our second match. The Acolytes of Bradshaw and Faarooq versus the Hardy Boys of Matt and Jeff Hardy and Michael Hayes for the WWF Tag Team Championships in an Acolyte Rules match.
The and part had me confused. I didn't catch that until later in the match, but I guess we'll get to it.
So Michael Cole catches up with the new champions. They had won the belts about a month prior on Raw when Hayes would interfere on their behalf, asking them how confident they are, as it's 3-on-2, with Michael responding that he's taken the boys from curtain jerkers to champions. The Acolytes are tough, but they're not counting on my leadership, and tonight I'll lead by example. And when they come out, we actually hear the Hardy Boys theme that is still used to this day, while the brawl is on immediately in the aisleway. And Jeff has his head slammed into the ring steps, followed by Matt being tossed into them, and Hayes is being whipped into a clothesline from Bradshaw, before ramming the steps into Michael as well. And the bell finally rings as the Acolytes are in full control, with Faarooq hammering away on Jeff inside the ring, while the big Texan continues the punishment to Hayes, when Jeff ducks a clothesline and flies over the ropes with a somersault plancha onto Bradshaw.
Fun.
And the former militant heads out to keep up the attack when Matt would fly off the top turnbuckle with a moonsault that takes everyone down. The big Texans rolled in where Matt goes for a crossbody, only to be caught and dropped with a fall-away slam. But Jeff responds by leaping in with a missile dropkick that sends Bradshaw into Matt, who rolls up the Acolyte for a 2 count. And the Hardys team up for multiple drop kicks that send the big Texan to the outside, with Matt flying over the ropes with a plancha, only for Bradshaw to catch him. But Jeff hits a drop kick through the ropes to knock them down. Faarooq is then rolled in, where the Hardys hit poetry in motion, and Hayes joins Matt for a double suplex before Jeff comes off the rope with a senton for a near fall. And the big Texan tosses Jeff and Michael to the outside, leaving the former militant to catch a charging Matt with a spine buster, bringing in Bradshaw as we finally settle down into a regular match. And the Acolytes are working over Matt with slams, big boots, backbreakers, and leg drops for 2 counts, before a double shoulder block, and Bradshaw sets up for a powerbomb, forcing Jeff to make the save, and allowing Matt to tag out to Hayes, only for the big Texan to beat him down just as bad.
I mean, Michael Hayes is what, in his 50s at this point?
Probably. Michael kicks away a telegraphing Faarooq and makes the tag to Jeff, who runs right into a power slam for a near fall to keep the Acolytes in control. Bradshaw then whips Jeff to a corner where he leaps up to the top, only for the big Texan to grab and slam him down to the mat, flip off Hayes and make a cover, bringing in Michael and Matt to break up the pin. And the former militant goes to a chin lock to wear down his opponent, with Jeff rallying to nail a jawbreaker. But Faarooq recovers to set up for a pile driver, forcing Matt to jump in to make the save, leading to everyone brawling once more, where Hayes and Jeff are tossed to the outside. The former militant gets Matt up for the Dominator, only for him to wiggle free and deliver a twist of fate for the pin, and no, Faarooq kicks out. And Bradshaw's back in for a short arm clothesline and a super back suplex for a 2 count. Followed by Jeff hitting the Big Texan with Hayes Kane to knock him out. As Jeff makes the cover for the pin. And no! Bradshaw kicks out. And the Hardys look to nail Poetry in motion again. But the Big Texan fires out of a corner with the clothesline from hell to destroy Jeff in midair.
Damn.
But Matt breaks up the pin. Jeff then rolls out to regroup, while Matt's sent to the ropes, where Faarooq backbody drops him out of the ring, as Hayes wanders back in, only for the Acolytes to hammer away and hit a double powerbomb for the pin and the win. And new. I'm just glad they had Hayes take the pin.
Yeah.
Cause it didn't.
That seems like that's the main reason for it. Plus, those guys are so much bigger than the Hardy Boys. And, which, like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the Hardy Boys to beat these giant guys this early in their career. Not mad about it. The Hardy Boys got to do a bunch of fun stuff early on and then work from underneath after that.
We go backstage to see Austin walking the halls, slamming the door on the cameraman, before we go to Kevin Kelly, who's with D'Lo Brown. And Brown says that he's waited 9 months to get his European Championship back, telling his opponent there's a lot more to being a champion than pulling the title out of someone's bag.
Which is the only way Mideon could ever become a champion.
Yeah, he literally was rummaging around in Shane's bag on an episode of Raw and saw that he had an extra belt and asked if he could have it. And Shane wasn't even paying attention. Was like, sure, Mideon, you can have it.
Yeah, wasn't that like the time where Shane had the European belt and the tag belt?
No, it literally was just the European belt and like a regular belt in his bag. Like, I mean,
didn't he take it from X-Pac?
Well, Shane won it.
Yeah.
And then he retired it after WrestleMania.
Oh, and it was just in the bag.
And then brought it back for that UK show.
Yeah.
No Mercy UK show.
Just because it's called European and they're in the UK.
Yeah. And then basically retired it again and hasn't defended it since then.
Yeah.
And it was just in his bag for Mideon to find, basically.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, sure, man.
Yeah.
You can have it. We can use another belt on a pay-per-view. Why not?
Why not?
Till we forget about it again.
And D'Lo continues that tonight he's going to show everybody that it's all about earning it, about respect for the title. Now recognize that, punk. That takes us to our third match. D'Lo Brown versus Mideon for the WWF European Championship. And last time we saw Mideon wrestle.
Yeah, we've seen him in the periphery.
Or the European Championship.
Yeah.
Be defended. Was at that No Mercy UK 99 show. Episode 361. And Brown gets in his opponent's face, only for the former pig farmer to slap him, leading to the two trading blows until D'Lo hits a back elbow, clothesline, and a mounted punches, followed by another clothesline that sends Mideon crashing out to the floor. Brown with a baseball slide and a tope suicida before looking to whip his opponent. But Mideon reverses to send D'Lo into the ring steps and dropping him on the railing. Now back inside the ring, Mideon nails a clothesline and stomps, followed by a gut-wrench powerbomb for a 2 count. Then goes to a chinlock, only for Brown to rally to his feet, escaping with elbows and running the ropes. But the former pig farmer blocks a clothesline and counters with a neckbreaker for a near fall. Traded chops between the two, only for a rake of the eyes to put Mideon back in control, when he telegraphs his move, allowing D'Lo to deliver a sunset flip for a 2 count, only for the former pig farmer to retaliate with a clothesline.
I mean, how much more can you retaliate with?
Brown's then whipped to a corner with Mideon charging in several times to big boots, allowing D'Lo to nail a tornado DDT for a 2 count, before also hitting sky high, a standing leg drop, and a lowdown for the pin and the win. And new. Maybe D'Lo will be from Switzerland next week.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see D'Lo get the belt back. It's a bummer that he had to do it from Mideon just because it wasn't very fun, and I like D'Lo. So, but he didn't. There's not a whole lot he can do here. At least they didn't go too long. There's a bit of a theme on this show so far.
Yeah, Jerry keeps pointing out that there's a bunch of title changes happening.
Yep, 3 matches.
3 for 3 so far.
Yeah, 3 matches, 3 titles, all changed hands.
Foreshadowing.
I mean, yeah. We'll talk about it.
Stone Cold still walking the halls. This time just turning to push the cameraman away. Followed by going to Michael Cole, who's with Al Snow, who seems a little more deranged than normal, not being the same since Head had a spike put through itself, thanks to Prince Albert.
Mm-hmm.
Before sending it to footage from the past week, where Snow asks the Big Boss Man to put him out of his misery, with the former corrections officer nailing him with his nightstick and handcuffing Al to the ropes to beat him down some more.
Al's getting a little freaky.
Cole then asks Snow about putting the hardcore title on the line, with Al asking if Michael, can you feel it? What it's like to hear screaming all the time? You can't go anywhere. You can't think. I can't think. He's going to make it stop, isn't he? As Cole seems scared for his own life.
Yeah, Al's going he's going big and weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a sad man with no head, and it sounds like he doesn't want to be on this mortal coil any longer.
That takes us to our 4th match. Al Snow with Head versus Big Boss Man for the WWF Hardcore Championship.
So is the spike through Head's head, did that make Head no longer communicate with Al, and now Al's just carrying around an empty head? Because he spoke to Head, even communicated with him, even though we all just thought he was insane. But did the spike stop him from being able to communicate, and that's why he's acting this way?
Or maybe Head screaming.
Oh, the whole time? Yes, there you go. And all he can hear is Head screaming.
Because that's like what it's like to hear screaming all the time.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. You answered the question.
So the champ came out first. Foreshadowing. But he meets his challenger in the aisleway, dropping to his knees and begging to be put down. Only for Boss Man to grab Head and hit the spike with his nightstick multiple times, with Snow turning aggressive to brawl with his opponent. Boss Man gets Al inside an equipment case, but he escapes as Big Boss Man looks for his weapon, allowing Snow to grab a sandbag to nail his opponent with. And they brawl through the curtains to backstage, where Al's tossed into a wooden sign, only for Snow to fight back with a cardboard box full of flyers. I'm sure that hurt.
Yeah, that must have felt terrible.
Boss Man delivers a low blow, stabs Al with a flag, but Snow recovers to nail some strikes, a cookie sheet shot, dumps some hot coffee in a trash can on Big Boss Man, followed by a suplex through a table. Now back to their feet, Boss Man blocks another coffee pot shot, using it, a first down marker, and turning it to 4th down to punt his opponent, which I thought was a good joke.
It was a pretty good joke.
Even if it may have been like not planned. Because I think he was trying to turn it to 2.
Oh, yeah.
To like just hit him again, and then he was going to turn it to 3, hit him again, and then maybe 4th, and he went to 4th down.
Yeah, and then kicked
first,
him.
And so he just went straight for the punt, which I thought
is
was funny.
nice. And it's also feels less planned than if you go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like that's a little too cute.
Yeah. Al also gets rammed headfirst into a garage door when Big Boss Man looks to run him over with a golf cart.
Oh no.
Only he's not able to get it started, allowing Al to hit him with a potted tree. And Boss Man lashes Snow with a belt, rams him into a concrete wall several times, and takes the fight outside of the arena, where Big Boss Man delivers a bulldog onto the ground for a 2 count. And Al rakes the eyes to escape and nails his opponent with a hubcap and a traffic cone. But another low blow puts Boss Man back in control with knee lifts and a brick to the face that gets a near fall. And Snow staggers away into the street, where a car has to stop to avoid hitting him, only to be rammed into a metal sign, followed by being handcuffed to a fence. And Al's begging Big Boss Man to make it stop, so Boss Man blasts him with a metal rod for the pin and the win.
And new. It's funny because I was like, oh, there would be more traffic if this was like happening like on a Saturday or whatever. But like this is obviously shot like in the early morning. You can just tell by like the way it looks outside and the lack of cars. That's what it felt like to me.
I thought it was live.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Just the way that it looked like the sun was coming up and not going down. I could be wrong. I guess a lot of arenas, depending on, I guess, where they are, like sometimes there's not shit around them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're in the middle of a city.
Post-match, Big Boss Man hustles his way back to the ring to celebrate with the belt. JR then sends it to a video package over our next match, where we see Big Show and Kane have been hell-bent on destroying one another, as we see choke slams and chair shots. Undertaker would even join his brother in the dismantling of Show, only for the dead man to attack X-Pac as well, causing the brothers to break up once again, with Kane choke slamming Undertaker before hugging the kid.
Yeah, don't mess with my little buddy.
We then go to Kevin Kelly in the back with Hardcore Holly, who says he'll beat both guys up if either of them get in his face. We go to our fifth match, Big Show versus Kane, with Hardcore Holly as the special guest referee. Ross even acknowledges that their previous matchup at King of the Ring was uglier than a bowling shoe.
They don't have the best chemistry.
And Show goes right after the big red machine with right hands to start, before a gorilla press slam sends him out to the floor. And Big Show gives chase to deliver headbutts and run his opponent into the ring post.
Posted.
Followed by returning to the ring, where Kane gets a big boot up, turnbuckle smashes, and right hands, when Holly would grab the arm to prevent closed fists, allowing Show to retaliate with a clothesline. More headbutts and chops across the chest by Big Show before multiple hard whips across the ring and a raking of the eyes on the ropes. Which, how are you raking the eyes of Kane with his mask on?
I mean, it's you would think that one of the two of them would have been like, this is a dumb spot. Unless they were just calling it in the ring. But it doesn't show much in the way of intelligence for either man.
Show with stomps and chokes, hammering away on the big red machine's back, pouncing on it even, followed by clotheslines, headbutts, a big boot, and a power slam for a 2 count, with Hardcore Holly telling him to hook the leg next time. Kane's taken down with a side Russian leg sweep, but avoids an elbow drop, rallying to hit right hands that stagger Big Show, nailing a DDT and a top rope clothesline. And the big red machine sets up for the chokeslam, when Holly would chop block Kane from behind, allowing Show to deliver the showstopper for the fast count pin and the win. Post-match, X-Pac runs out to hit a spinning heel kick to Hardcore Holly, only for Taker to come out as well, choke slamming the kid, leaving the Big Show and Undertaker to beat down the big red machine. And the dead man gives Show a look before heading to the back, when Austin would attack him as soon as he comes through the curtain, sending him into a wall that busts Taker open. So now both men.
I know, Taker could have just, if he didn't let his emotions take over him, maybe he could have avoided Austin till the end of the show. To the, no
It's
pun
almost
intended.
like we're setting up Undertaker's next rivalry before we're done with the one he's in.
Foreshadowing. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
JR then sends it to a video package over our next match, where we see highlights of Blackman attacking Shamrock over the past few weeks with a kendo stick. But that takes us to our sixth match, the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman versus Ken Shamrock in an Iron Circle match.
Which is them in a parking garage surrounded by a circle of cars, like the hoods of cars with all their headlights on, kind of like a smaller version of our junkyard fight.
Yep.
A lot cheaper, kind of makes more sense. It's easier to caulk.
There's also people sitting on the hoods
Yeah, it looks like a street fight.
Almost like a lumberjack thing, but they don't really get involved. They don't get involved at all.
They're just spectators.
But did you see who any of the people were?
I did see Mideon, and I saw Viscera, and I clocked Draws.
Prince Albert was there as well. Sergeant Slaughter was out there. But the one that's the most interesting is a man who we haven't seen since High Incident, episode 224.
ECW.
Kurt Angle.
I did not catch Kurt Angle. Surprised. I mean, that's exciting. It means he's got to be showing up eventually.
Yeah. And as you said, they're just the only lighting that you really get. There's like the parking garage lighting, which
is
dim, and then the headlights of the vehicles. So it's kind of hard to see everything that's happening.
And to be honest, it doesn't really matter because it's just a brawl where people push each other onto hoods of cars and guys yell.
Yeah. So they're brawling. Ken hip tosses his opponent onto a hood, jumping up to pound away several times. Blackman fights back in between vehicles and goes for a kick, only for Shamrock to avoid, causing the Lethal Weapon to put his foot through a window. Now back to the middle to exchange strikes when Blackman would drive Ken right into the hood of a car. Kicks that send Shamrock flying backwards onto the hood before grabbing a chain. But Ken avoids the fight back, slamming his opponent on a windshield. And the Lethal Weapon recovers to body slam Shamrock on a hood and grabs a tire iron from inside a vehicle, only for Ken to roll away, causing the windshield to be smashed.
Yeah, if you hit somebody with a tire iron, it's kind of over.
Shamrock hammers away in the darkness as Blackman's sent into a window to break the glass, followed by a trash can shot. Ken drags his opponent back to the middle for another shot from the trash can and picks up the chain, wrapping around his fist for a big right hand. And Shamrock continues to pound away before wrapping the chain around the Lethal Weapon to choke him out for the win.
Ken got his juice back after the beatdown.
Yep, that he's been taking for the last month.
Yeah, the ribs and then the weapons match after the rib injury.
We go to Terry Taylor, who tries to interview Undertaker, only for him to get roughed up for even attempting to do so. We then go to Michael Cole, who's with Chyna and Billy Gunn, saying they have caught a break because X-Pac isn't going to be 100%. With Chyna responding, "That's what loyalty will get you." Mr. Ash chimes in that when it comes to breaks, there is none. When it comes to dollars and cents, it's eat or be eaten. And tonight, we're going to have a feast. But that takes us to our 7th match. Chyna and Mr. Ass Billy Gunn versus Road Dogg Jesse James and X-Pac for the rights to the D-Generation X name.
And all that beautiful merch money.
That's right.
Because we care about how much money they make.
I do. I want to make sure that X-Pac gets every penny he deserves.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't want them to get paid. I'm just saying. When I bought like a DDP shirt in 1999, I wasn't thinking, oh, DDP is going to get some money out of this.
And everyone comes out to the DX music, while Mr. Ass and his partner have matching thongs under mesh coverings.
It's really disconcerting to watch Billy Gunn wear a thong. It's like I said, the ass man thing. I waxed poetic about it last week, and this just proves the point. But I get it that it's but they're not in a fun or funny mood. They're the serious ones here. Everybody's serious, but they're the pissed off heels. Yeah. And he's wearing a thong, and I'm not convinced that it's not just one of Chyna's less flashy pieces of gear.
I actually fear it's Gunn's gear, and she's wearing his gear. So Road Dogg does this shtick on the mic, followed by starting the match with Chyna, who uses headlocks and shoulder blocks to gain control. When James would escape and drop kick her into Gunn, knocking him off the apron. Before a whip to the ropes, where again Chyna runs into her partner to put him on the floor, leading to Road Dogg attempting his finisher, but Mr. Ass pulls her to safety to regroup on the outside.
Yeah, it wasn't a great finish for Team Ass.
Gunn tags in for some back-and-forth action full of strikes, turnbuckle smashes, big boot, and a corner splash, when Chyna would hit a cheap shot from the apron, allowing Mr. Ass to take control. And Road Dogg's worked over by Chyna with strikes, turnbuckle smashes, chokes, and elbow drops for a 2 count, followed by more chokes and a jackhammer from Gunn. James gets a boot up to the chin of Mr. Ass as he flies off the second rope and makes the crawl for the
hot tag. By the way, great bump by Mr. Ass.
X-Pac with kicks for everyone, but Gunn catches him charging in with a hot shot across the ropes, leading to Chyna wearing her opponent down with a chin lock, when the Kid would rally, only to be taken down by a power slam for a near fall. Chyna with chokes on the ropes and a front face lock that X-Pac slowly makes his way to the corner for a tag that the ref doesn't see, forcing Road Dogg back to the apron and causing the Kid to get beaten down in the opposite corner. And Gunn continues the punishment on the neck of X-Pac until he fires up, but runs into another power slam for a 2 count. Chyna returns for kicks and a handspring corner elbow.
Oh no.
Only for the Kid to fire out with a clothesline of his own, making the crawl for the hot tag.
Such a bummer that Chyna didn't get to finish that move because it looked pretty great.
Road Dogg with clotheslines and a back body drop to Mr. Ass. Shake, rattle, and roll, and a shaky knee drop to Chyna.
Ooh.
Making the cover, but Gunn makes the save. And X-Pac is back up to stomp away on Chyna in a corner, delivering a Bronco Buster to her, while Mr. Ass hammers away on James. And Gunn turns and sees the Kid, so he charges in with a corner splash. But Chyna pulls X-Pac out of the ring, causing Mr. Ass to hit his head on the ring post.
Damn.
And allowing Road Dogg to nail the pump handle slam for the pin and the win. And it wasn't like the way I described it makes it seem like Chyna pulled X-Pac
on purpose,
but she was doing it to
get him back for the Bronco Buster that just happened. Like, he got off of her finally, she rolled out of the ring, was pissed, and grabbed him. But words take longer than actions when you're talking about a wrestling match. So it was timed well. I thought that this was the best match I've seen Chyna in. She
did a good job.
Everything she was asked to do, she did well, and it looked effective. Even her punches, I'm pretty sure they were just like, hey, so it looks good, just hit us. Because, like, she's just hitting them. Yeah. Like, like, it's they're all friends here. They all wanted to make everybody look good. And I think that it was effective. And the crowd got what they wanted. Because they are pro X-Pac and Road Dogg by far.
One thing though.
What?
The King of the Ring got pinned again.
I mean,
just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hey, the King of the Ring, like the next night, the King of the Ring was dead. It didn't matter anymore. Like that, he shouldn't have won the King of the Ring, or we shouldn't have done it. One or the other. But. Good point, but I don't even think of him as the King of the Ring at this point.
We see Austin getting ready in the back before we go to our 8th match. Triple H versus The Rock in a strap match to be the number 1 contender for the WWF Championship.
What's crazy is maybe I wasn't listening enough, but when we got this far into the show, I was like, man, this show is like really lacking the energy of Mankind and The Rock. And I was like, does The Rock have a match on this show? And then it was this, and I was like, normally they're much better at informing. Maybe I was zoned out, but I feel like I don't feel like they built this up during the show at all. And then it was just like, oh, this is coming up. I was like, wow, okay, all right.
So Michael Cole's in the back with Rocky before he heads out, where he makes fun of Hunter for getting emotional during an interview on Sunday Night Heat over being held down for the curtain call incident.
He deserves it.
But The Rock says that's not why they kept him at the bottom of the barrel. It's because he absolutely sucks.
That's so funny.
Followed by promising to win and get his title back at SummerSlam. And this isn't a traditional strap match. Instead of touching corners, you can still win by pinfall.
It's just essentially for forced proximity, I guess. I prefer this because you know how I feel about the Four Corners match.
There's only a couple ways those matches can really end.
And there's only a couple that are good.
Yeah.
So at least here it's like, okay, they can use the strap and they're stuck together. Whatever.
So the brawl's on as soon as Rocky enters the ring, kicking his opponent to the floor and using the strap to pull Triple H into the ring post.
Posted. And this is before Rock's not even wearing it yet.
Yeah. But he puts it on at this point to keep the attack, taking a picture with the fan's camera, only for Hunter to respond with strikes and tossing Rocky into the barricade. And Triple H has his head slammed into both announce booths, but answers back to drop the Rock on the Spanish announce table.
Ay, Dios mío.
And they head inside where Hunter continues the punishment with right hands, only to telegraph his move, leading to being taken down by a clothesline and turnbuckle smashes, but runs into a back elbow and a clothesline. Triple H then chokes his opponent on the ropes before the fight is taken to the outside, where Hunter is ran into the steel steps before having his head slammed into them as well. They head out into the crowd to brawl, running each other into guardrails, when Hunter would reverse to send Rocky into the entranceway set to make a cover for a 2 count. Triple H uses the strap to whip the Rock across the back and face, only for Rocky to reverse a suplex on the concrete floor for a near fall. And Hunter sends the Rock hard into a railing, followed by making their way back into the ring, where Triple H whips away with the strap, but Rocky rallies with right hands, only to receive a rake of the eyes and a high knee. Chyna then makes her way out as Hunter stomps away on his opponent before arguing with the ref, allowing the Rock to recover and pull Triple H in for a rock bottom. But the ref is distracted by Chyna on the apron. And Hunter goes low to regain control, begins choking with the strap from the top turnbuckle until Rocky is able to press slam Triple H down to the mat. And they're back to their feet and the two are exchanging strikes when the Rock would deliver a clothesline, a hot shot into the turnbuckle, and a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Hunter then yanks his opponent to the floor and he takes the strap off, running Rocky into guardrails, followed by grabbing a chair, only for the Rock to whip him with the strap as he goes for the chair shot. Rocky then whips him across the back down the aisleway before taking the fight back inside the squared circle, where Triple H is dropped with a DDT for a near fall. And Chyna jumps on the apron again to distract the ref, when Billy Gunn would run out and hit the Rock over the head with a club, allowing Hunter to make the cover for the pin. And no, Rocky kicks out.
Crowd goes wild.
Triple H chokes away and sets up for his finisher, but the Rock low blows his opponent to escape, slamming Hunter down and nailing the people's elbow for the pin. And no, Mr. Ass uses the strap to pull Rocky off. Gunn then jumps in the ring only to run right into a rock bottom, but the distraction allows Triple H to recover, delivering the pedigree for the pin and the win.
Triple H was the poster for the show.
Yeah.
Some of that foreshadowing we were talking about, and we'll talk about it some more.
Big Show is the poster for King of the Ring. How'd that work out for him?
It's a good point. They must have changed something, but they stayed the course here.
I mean, they definitely needed to add some new blood to the main event scene because you can't keep going between Rock, Undertaker, and Austin.
No, that's true. Also, they want to keep Austin and The Rock away from each other.
Exactly. Well, Rock is starting to get cheers.
Yeah, he's over as hell. Yeah.
So
he's the face.
You don't want two faces against each other.
No, and you need a time to switch that up, and you know that that's going to be the big thing, so you need to build it intelligently.
Yep. JR then sends it to a video package over our next match, where we see Austin winning the title on Raw, only for the Undertaker to bust him open afterwards, followed by wanting a first blood match, which he mentions is how Stone Cold lost his first title, which they show highlights of as well.
Was that the cage match?
The cage match against Mankind that Undertaker ran in. Yep. Vince McMahon also adds the stipulation that if Austin wins, McMahon would leave television forever.
Forever.
But if Taker wins, Stone Cold would never get another shot at the belt. Austin would then arrive in a bloodmobile, beating down the dead man and locking him in the vehicle until Bearer would save him, allowing Undertaker to again bust open Stone Cold.
I don't know if you got it here, but the signing of the contract for the match where, like, they get blood from... They fill the pen with blood.
They dip the pen in Austin's blood
from his head after they beat him up.
Yeah, which was pretty funny.
It was funny. It was stupid, but it was... I think they've ran the course on fun cars, because this is just like a mobile, like, blood donating van. Like, it's like, okay, all right, I guess. Yeah, I feel like you're reaching.
I mean, it's a first blood match. It
fits, but it's just like it's just looks like a van for like slow kids. It doesn't. It's not like a Zamboni or like an ambulance or a big truck.
But that takes us to our 9th match: Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a first blood end of an era match for the WWF Championship. Vince hobbles his way out on crutches to join commentary for the match, while we see both competitors make their way from backstage through the curtain. And they attack each other in the aisleway, with Stone Cold missing a shot with his smoking skull belt and gets run into a railing. And Austin covers up his cut as Taker hammers away before they battle their way down to ringside, where both attempt to use the steel steps to no avail.
I mean, we can't be wasting time because we both technically already have cuts, and now their blood is pumping. Just a nice, some steel steps, the chair to the head, and they're going to be gushing.
And Stone Cold's knocked over the barricade, followed by the dead man throwing the ring steps at him, only for Austin to sidestep. An exchange strikes out in the crowd when Stone Cold goes to use the steel steps himself, but a right to the midsection by the Undertaker causes him to drop the weapon. Taker rips at the stitches before they make it into the ring finally, where Austin's choked, only to avoid a big boot, stomping at the knee to take out the legs and ripping at his opponent's cut. And Stone Cold continues to work the leg with a chop block, wraps it around the post several times, but the dead man answers back by kicking Austin away. That sends him over the barricade again. And Vince is sure that Stone Cold's bleeding.
He's bleeding.
As his back is turned to the camera, only to be proven wrong when Undertaker drags Austin back to ringside, where he misses a big chair shot against the post. Stone Cold drop-toe holds Taker into the ring steps and chokes him with an electrical cord, followed by returning to the ring, where Austin telegraphs his move, leading to an uppercut to take him down.
It was funny. He was like, it's like he's choking him with a cord, and I was like, well, that's going to cut off blood flow to the head. That was my thought. It's like, wait a second.
The dead man goes to run the ropes, but he runs into the referee.
Ref bump.
Turning around to Stone Cold, who attempts his finisher, only to block. But the momentum sends him backwards to trip over Earl Hebner to get himself tied up in the ropes.
This was a little sloppy and weird, but I get it. And by
I think if there's a different camera angle, the camera angle didn't help.
No,
because I had to actually rewind it.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
A couple times to be like, what exactly happened?
Yeah. But Undertaker trips over Hebner after the ref bump, and then has the double arms hooked in the first and second rope.
Austin rolls outside and grabs a chair when Shane McMahon would run down, only to get knocked out by the weapon. But the distraction lets The Undertaker get loose from the ropes, kicking Stone Cold in the face, followed by a low blow and grinding his face into the mat with his boot. A mule kick low blow leads to a stunner being hit, which brings Vince hobbling over to swing his crutch at the champ, only for Austin to roll out and punch McMahon right in the face.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to McMahon, because we always talk about how perfect he is in this role, but throughout this whole match, anytime they cut to his face, it might be some of his finest facial reaction work of all time.
Austin then rolls back in with the chair in hand, but he walks right into a chair to the midsection and the back from Taker. X-Pac then runs down and delivers a spinning heel kick to the dead man, holding the steel in front of his face, before Stone Cold takes a TV camera to smash over his opponent's head.
That's not a light piece of equipment.
Yeah. Shane jumps back in, only to be knocked out again by a right hand, when we see the Undertaker make it to his feet, with blood streaming down his face.
Bye-bye, Vince.
And the two competitors exchange strikes until Taker picks up Austin for his finisher, when the ref recovers to see the blood and calls
ding, ding, ding.
for the bell. Post-match, Stone Cold with a stunner to the dead man. Vince climbs in to receive one as well, when Triple H would run out to beat down Austin. But The Rock makes his way out to make the save, fighting around ringside and to the back, as Undertaker nails a chair shot to the head of Stone Cold, busting him open.
Taker's got to get his heat back.
And they brawl around ringside when Shane would get involved, only for Taker to hit him with a big right hand as well. So I'd say the corporate ministry is no more.
Yeah.
And officials finally separate them, with Austin celebrating in the ring, when Vince would get one more stunner, sending him off TV forever, as JR says his goodbyes, and we fade to black. Fun fact, McMahon's on the next night on Raw.
I mean, yeah.
He says his goodbyes, and then he's off for a few weeks, but we know he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, you can't... It makes sense for him to go away for a little while because this is getting long in the tooth, where it's like, all right, Austin McMahon thing, it's got to chill out for a while just so other things can get some light and be taken seriously.
You can't overexpose it. You have to,
and it's at the limit right now.
You have to chill it off a little bit so it can heat back up.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it set its limit.
Yeah. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of Fully Loaded 1999?
There's nothing I hate on this show exactly. I don't know if there's anything I love either. It's very solid. I feel like after the first couple matches, I kind of knew what the show was going to be. It's like, all right, all the belts are changing hands. Austin will keep the belt. And then I assumed that Triple H would beat The Rock. And I was right in all of it. I did not have a bad time watching the show, but I don't think I really got like an injection of like energy at any point really, where I was like, oh, like this match has really got my blood going, which is less common in WWF just because of the style. But most of the feuds I wasn't really particularly invested in.
I can see that.
But very, very watchable.
I think the show starts off with 4 pretty great matches. Like, they're solid.
Yeah.
Solid matches completely with the 4 title changes. It's setting up a bit of a storyline for the show.
Yeah.
We hit a little bit of a road bump in the middle, like the Big Show Kane thing.
Yeah, those guys just don't have the chemistry.
And the Iron Circle match was just
a waste of time.
Yeah. But then the last 2 matches specifically is exactly what a fun Attitude Era pay-per-view is.
I can agree with that completely. I might even say that the tag match, the 7th match, it might be my favorite.
I mean, it's a very good match.
It's just because it's the most fun, and it's the one that crowds into the most outside of the obvious Undertaker match.
Yep.
Although Triple H and The Rock is also good. Maybe the show's a little better than I thought.
I mean, I think the Triple H Rock match is the best match of the night.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right, fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show?
I'm trying to think of stuff that sticks out because like I think most of it's pretty solid. But as far as
it's fun seeing the Hardys progressing.
Yeah, they did that right where they got them to do a bunch of fun, flashy stuff early, and then they had to work from underneath.
Because I like the Acolytes just as well because they're
big ass kickers.
Exactly, and that's what you want them to do and they're actually getting over without just being lackeys for the corporate ministry.
Yeah,
they're getting over on their own,
which is deserved and cool. And the Hardys just got here; they don't deserve to beat guys that are twice their size yet.
But this is the era of tag team wrestling that I remember. Well, because you got Acolytes, Hardys, Edge and Christian.
Yeah, we're going to start
more of a prominent tag team here soon.
They're going to start to leak in, and it's going to get fun.
The Dudleys are coming over soon.
They get less mic time,
which is the thing that we complain about the Dudleys
the most, and also that they're not going to be able to do as much trash.
Exactly. So it's looking up.
We're about to get a bunch of true tag teams as opposed to two guys together.
D'Lo was fun. Mideon sucks, but that's just because Mideon sucks.
D'Lo did his best with him, and we applaud him for it.
Al Snow's character is a little out there, and I think if there's a match on the show that I wish I had more knowledge of
context
for, that it'd probably be that one.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know why Al Snow has gone even crazier.
The screaming, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have explained it a little bit more. But Al Snow's his character work's always good. They just didn't make a package for it. But
I thought it was a little ingenious to have both tag teams come out the DX music for that match.
Absolutely. And I think Billy Gunn did a great job of being incredibly pissed the whole match, and then after losing, like he looked shoot pissed.
If WWF is going to do strap matches like this, then I'm all for doing more strap matches.
Yeah, it was fun.
Using the strap as a weapon is good. Having to touch the corners is bad.
I didn't mind when he started using the strap as a weapon and whipping him with it because it wasn't a weapon that he walked down to the ring with like Hulk Hogan, who comes down with a weight belt that he's going to use at some point. It's like, oh, this is the thing here. This is a strap match, and we can use the strap.
But yeah, we're moving like I said during the show, we're moving people into different places on the card a little bit to freshen up scenes, because obviously we have this Undertaker Big Red Machine, Undertaker Kane thing that I think will end up being something. Billy Gunn's attacking Rock, and that's costing the #1 contendership, so that's probably going to be a thing.
Yeah, The Rock has something.
Triple H is a new opponent for Austin at the top of the card.
Yeah. So he won't win, but he has a chance to, look good.
So it's kind of reshuffling some people, giving them, but keeping them.
And they're doing it well.
It feels organic almost.
Yeah. It doesn't feel sloppy or forced. Like all the things that people do are informed by things that have been happening.
Yeah. Anything disappointing on this show? I mentioned the Al Snow thing, which I still like the match, but a little bit more context to why he was acting the way he was would have been nice.
I get it, and it was short, but like the Iron Circle match was kind of the least interesting thing.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I'm not going to get too mad at Taker and Paul and Big Show because they obviously just don't have the juice against each other, and we just got to get away from this program. Like, I don't know.
I still thought the match should have been a triple threat, but I guess, and they didn't really explain. It's another storytelling thing, is another complaint. Because when we left Big Show, Kane, and Hardcore Holly the last time, totally thought it was going to end up being a triple threat. And instead we get Big Show and Kane with Holly as a guest referee just because he's still in the mix of this rivalry or this feud, but I think it would have been funnier if, Big Show and Kane are just trying to hit each other, and Holly
it's just chop blocking them and
chop blocking, cheap shotting, and all of a sudden then just slams one of them down and gets the win. To me, that would have helped Hardcore Holly more.
Yeah, I think that just they don't want either of these two guys to be pinned by Hardcore Holly.
Because
but I don't think
I do know what the match is for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And Hardcore Holly basically gets pushed out of this. It becomes Big Show and Undertaker as a tag team versus Kane and X-Pac.
Okay, so Hardcore Holly just gets pushed out completely.
Yeah. And ends up going back to the hardcore division, basically.
Yeah. Which is a bummer, but it makes Kane and Undertaker together so... Not Kane and X-Pac together are so good.
I mean, they are good. Don't get me wrong.
But Bob Holly and Big Show could have been good together.
Exactly. Would have been a fun team.
Yep. Yeah, you got your two smaller guys, two bigger guys, as opposed to two monsters, and then, Kane and the spark plug that is X-Pac. Not the spark plug that is Bob Holly.
How about best performer of the night? Is it Chyna?
I mean, she's the most improved for sure.
I mean, she did a good job in her match. Then she came down and
interjected
and did her part in that match.
Yeah. I mean, The Rock and Triple H did a good and fun job with this strap match. Obviously, The Rock's always going to have more charisma than Triple H ever will, because that's just not Triple H's thing.
I just don't think Hunter's found So I guess in that interview that he had with that Rock mentions when he's cutting his promo, is the first time that Triple H calls himself the Game.
Oh, okay.
So I think once they start
once he grabs onto that,
it'll help kickstart. Because looking back, I realized that Triple H is more of the foundation for what the WWF is built upon.
Yeah.
For the next 25 years, almost.
Okay. More...
he's not the guy that everyone just all of a sudden goes, Triple H is the man.
No.
But he's always there and delivering decent matches.
Yeah,
he's never in anything that's just outright horrible.
Yeah, he's just a solid hand that looks good.
Yeah.
And his personality is just kind of, it's not interesting, but it's assured.
I mean, he can deliver a promo when he
wants to. Yeah, when he's got something to work with.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stone Cold is larger than life. The Rock is larger than life. Triple H comes off as more believable and grounded in reality.
How about most surprising of the night?
They telegraphed the show so hard.
Yeah, they did do a lot of that.
They did it so hard that after the third match, I was like, okay, I know what's going on now.
But I mean...
I'm not mad about it. I wouldn't have known that in 99.
There's absolutely no way that you're taking Austin out of the title picture.
No. It all makes
sense. They
could
say Vince is going to be off television, but we know that he'll be back at some point. He's just not.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, I'm not mad about it. I was just surprised at how hard they went. And maybe that's just from us watching so much wrestling. Like I said, I would not have noticed this in 99.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week we're covering Behind the Rising Sun, released January 27th, 1944 by RKO Pictures. Directed by Edward Dmytryk, a one-time Oscar nominee, and written by Emmett Lavery, a one-time Oscar nominee. It would star Margot, Tom Neal, J. Carrol Naish, a two-time Oscar nominee, Robert Ryan, a one-time Oscar nominee, and Gloridia Holden. The plot for this is in Japan. Foreigners and their Japanese friends are caught up in the rising tide of militarism. And some trivia for this one. It was produced for $240,000, making $1.5 million at the box office.
So it was a successful propaganda film.
Yep. And the original title was Mad Former Brood of Japan.
Ooh.
I mean, that might be a literal translation from, like, what the Japanese called it or something. Maybe that's...
Who knows, yeah.
That's just a weird...
phrasing.
Weird phrasing for it. Some reviews and ratings. IMDb had it at a 5.5, while Letterboxd had it at a 2.6. And I found this review in the New York Times from TS in 1943. The film's purpose is serious rather than sensational. The main structural weakness arises from the glib transition of the main character. And the performances are good and sound. My review is, first off, old Hollywood. At least try to find some Asians to play the Japanese characters.
But we hated them at this point. World War II was happening.
But other than that, the story is about how war can change a man. It's a very compelling story. Our lead starts off wanting to do his own thing in life, including marrying a woman that's below his status level. But he's forced by his father into the military instead. When he returns, he's been hardened by what he's seen, and he ends up testifying against his American friends.
Oh, wow.
And the wrestler of this film is Mike Mazurki. And this is our 17th time to see him. And he's playing a Japanese wrestler.
That's fun.
He's the fighting proxy for our main character in an argument against an American businessman. He uses his power advantage at first, but he's dropped by a boxer in the end. And I gave this movie a 3.0, which I do mention that it loses half a star for the whitewashing.
It was the 40s.
I get it.
I know.
But just don't do it then.
I don't know. Bothers you more than me, but I'm not. I'm not going to
It's
argue.
just-
I'm not
it's-
going.
it's
I would
just
never
weird.
argue. I would never argue for it.
It's just weird to see white dudes basically having makeup put on them to make them look Japanese, which it's just weird. I gave Mazurki a 3.0 as well. He's just a wrestler going up against a boxer.
He knows it all too well.
Exactly. But if this movie does sound interesting, it can be found on YouTube. It's out there in the public domain, so check it out if it sounds like your bag of tea.
And this director, Edward Dmytryk, that is the craziest last name I've ever seen in my life. There is 2 Y's but no vowels, just a and sometimes Y.
Yep.
That is a bananas last name. It looks like what's the DC character?
Missile
Yeah, whatever. That's what it made me think of.
Next week, Monday Night Raw.
We always got to watch the Raw after them.
It's not the Raw after.
Oh, it's not.
Nope, we're going about 3 weeks down the road from it to August 9th, 1999. I think a countdown hits 0 on that episode.
Oh, okay. I get it.
And music from this week's show is Step On It, Watson by Beamish. And Austin won our main event, so we play I Won't Do What You Tell Me by Jim Johnston. And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there, rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts at. If you're listening on Spotify and you get to hear this, hopefully, having some issues with some music rights, so I'm gonna try some different things to possibly get around those, but it doesn't like one of our songs that we play, so.
What do they care? It's not like we're playing them for long.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? We don't make money off of it.
I don't make any money off of it, it's whatever. But,
YouTube used to be a cool place.
I mean, YouTube, I haven't gotten them from YouTube in a while. This is Spotify that I'm getting them.
Okay.
They don't like our Ready to Rumble music. So, yeah.
Might switch it up in the future, but we're not going back and editing it, folks. So you can find it in a podcatcher near you.
Exactly. But if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can email us at wrestlinghistoryx@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. It's WrestlingHistoX. We'll talk to you next week.
Laters.